Hill taught me many things about this life, and among those things was that grief and death are inextricably a part of this life. And I'm reminded of Hill's motto. Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Philippians 4:8. Whatsoever things are true, these 6 lives who we see here today in front of us, their lives are true. 2 of our classmates, as we know, have passed away, Dirk and Bill, since our time here 5 years ago at our 25th reunion, and we'll hear more about them in just a few minutes. When someone dies, I'm a firm believer that we actually don't lose them. We just learn how to hold their memory differently, with forgiveness for their shortcomings, with appreciation for their strength, and with gratitude that our lives and their lives were blessed for just a time to commingle on this earth. What is absolutely true about these 6 lives as well is that they all ended far too soon. And none of them ended in a way any of us would have wished. But evaluating the value of a life based on the length of our days that we have on this earth is a poor measure of the mark that we actually make in this life and the meaning that we leave behind. I think far better is this from the poet Philip Larkin. At the end, what will remain of us is love. At our end, what will remain of us is love. Because this is also absolutely true. Each of these 6 classmates, these friends of ours, they left behind people who loved them. Mothers, fathers, spouses, and friends, and children as well. People who still, this very day, actually this very moment, grieve their passing. After I was here 5 years ago and we remembered Chris Demos, I reached out to his father, Nicholas, and it meant a great deal to him to hear that not only I remembered him, but we remembered Chris. And so I want to encourage you, if you are close to these guys or know their families, even if you don't know what to say, please reach out. The compassionate heart speaks so much more loudly and clearly than the words that are uttered. Just say, I don't know exactly what to say, but I knew your son, I knew your husband, I knew your father. He was important to me. I miss him, and I remember him. Chances are that your words will soothe a broken heart. And this is true as well. Some of us in this room think of these 6 men often. You remember the specifics. You remember the details. And for some of us, these 6 faces are kind of a faint memory. A class we took with them, a hall that we lived on with them. Maybe the last time it was that we saw them was 3 decades ago. But whether it's the barest of reflections or an ingrained memory that will be with us until we take our final breaths. We're here right now, and that is true, and that is good, and it matters that we are taking the time to remember them, and to remember our bond with them, because remembering, putting back together, this is the key to all healing and to all belonging. I'd like to invite Chad up right now. We're going to ring the chapel bell here for each of our 6 classmates in the order that they left us. I want to ask you, if it's okay, if it's safe for you, maybe just close your eyes and listen for each of these 6 names, and listen for the sound of the bell. And listen for as that bell fades out into the larger silence that holds all of our lives, as we all continue to breathe in and breathe out that spirit that animates all of us, everyone who has ever lived and everyone who has ever died. Yi Cha Lee, November 7th, 1987. Sean Catton, July 18th, 1995. Rory Holloway, May 16th, 2007. Dirk Nakazawa, March 7th, 2016. William John Dillard III, March 8th, 2018. The Zen poet Basho says, "The temple bell stops, but I can still hear the sound coming out of the flowers." All of these lives have ended, but the meaning of their lives have not. And to help us remember that they still stay here, and they're still with us, we'll hear remembrances from Andrei Razumchuk and Oliver Liu, Dirk Nakazawa, and from Chris Krafchak of William John Dillard III.
So all of my earliest memories that I'd like to believe are fully baked and actually real, although every time I come back, I discover my memory is not quite as accurate as I thought it was, come from the nights that Dirk and I spent fighting a lot, arguing, having fun, and just doing crazy stuff. So you guys may remember him. He was extremely passionate about everything. When he wanted to do something, he was going to do it at 11, and that's all there was to it. There was no 0 to 10, it was either 11 or not. Whether it came to be skiing, or his tennis stuff, or all the other things he got into. So that's the main thing I remember about Dirk was getting tossed into this crazy soup of boarding school with all of you, and I had to deal with the guy that was wanting to do everything all out. And so yeah, it was really amazing. And the first 2 years were just a kind of a whirlwind blur. The best things I remember about Dirk were literally kind of arguing at 3 in the morning. So when I look at these photos here, I mean these are 6th form photos, but if you look back in the dial, it was my first day here on Thursday and Friday. I went to look at the dial and stuff. That feels like yesterday. He and I used to be up all night, just chatting and talking for 2 years straight. So that was the part of Dirk that I remember, was just literally engaged and always wanting to get into it. And getting into it, you probably remember, was when you got into a discussion, he wanted to go through the entire discussion. And as much as people around me think that I talk a lot, he talked more than I think, and he exhausted me. But in a good way. So, over time, I moved on to other things here. He moved on to his things. But all my first memories of him were just one of the most passionate guys I think we had in our class. We had a lot of people, a lot of characters in this class, but passion, I think, was there. And, when we talk about stuff tonight, that would be what I would encourage you to try to remember all. Things that you remember him just going all out. That's what he did.
Piggybacking on that, I would say, for better or worse, I kept in touch with him pretty closely as much as I could in college and after college. Arguing never actually really stopped. That wasn't very important for me. I love Dirk, and at times I hated him. He's a difficult guy. But he was real, and I don't know what to say. I mean, he tried a lot of different things. He did a lot of things up in Vermont. I mean, I guess I don't know if people know too much about what he did, but he lived in Vermont. He did a lot of things in his community. He was added to his hobbies. It wasn't just skiing and tennis. He transitioned to motorcycling. He actually organized a motocross in Vermont. And he's into snowmobiling. I think some of us remember his love for devices, electronic devices in the room, especially TVs and VCRs. Back then, that was actually something not many people had, VCR at least. And he always kept working on his problems, and he never stopped trying to make his life work for him. And I guess he had more setbacks than victories, but he never stopped, and he never really fell into a ton of self-pity, I have to say. So he always did a lot of things for the community, where he went to college up in Vermont and he stayed there. And he tried to do a lot of things, and that's what I remember about him, passion and things like that, and the love of the outdoors and things like that.
know Billy would have been really proud of the party we had last night. That's for darn sure, and I think we can make him proud again tonight. I'm looking forward to that. I can hear Billy right now, and I know he's saying, Crafty, you better say some nice stuff about me. So, I'll start with this. One thing's for sure, and that's that Billy loved the Hill. He really truly appreciated everything the Hill had to offer and the Hill afforded him. In fact, he is the only one, to my knowledge, in one's yearbook page, actually thanked all the other students and faculties. And for someone of that age, I know that my quotes pale in comparison to what he said. They were mine were somewhat more self-absorbed. But he took the time to think about the other students and the faculty and help them. And that's Billy. So, that being said, Billy also liked to have fun and surely participated in his fair share of hijinks here. Who can forget the Miracle Mile? I don't know if any of you all remember that, but that involves 4 laps naked around the quad in a snowstorm. And I can remember when he came back and was done, he was so proud of himself. He said, you know what, in that snowstorm, I don't even think you could see me. And he said, well, maybe, you know what, maybe just 2 red eyes. I said, yeah, that's him, So, this was Billy. He was funny, he was kind, he was engaging, and above all, he was genuine. He never let his albinism hold him back, nor did he use it as an excuse. He embraced it for what it was. And more recently, he even named his fishing boat the Genetic Disorder, which was pretty cool. So after Hill, Billy attended Valley Forge Military College in Villanova and married his loving wife, Shannon. And I was able to spend time with them after their first son was born, Chase, in Avalon, New Jersey. This was before I had kids, and Billy was really a very hands-on dad. He was very involved with his kids. And I remember being over at his house, and he said, hey, come on over here, Crafty. I want to show you how to change a diaper. I said, oh, this is fantastic. So when he's changing the diaper, he says to me, he says, look, the trick is you gotta change it real quick. He's like, little bugger will peel over if you don't switch it out real quick. And he's like, this boy's got distance, let me tell you. So anyway, it is really of some consolation to me, and it should be to all of us, that Billy was able to spend a lot of time with his kids. And he probably spent more time than most dads are able to, and really he spent a lot of time at home and engaged them and helped to raise them. And I know he imparted a lot of wisdom upon them, and he also taught them skills. 3 things that he's very passionate about and took very seriously with his kids were skiing, snowboarding, and also fishing. And he taught them very well. My understanding from George there is that his 14-year-old son can run the boat. 55-foot huge boat with a lot of gear on it, and the boy knows what he's doing, which is absolutely fabulous. About a year ago, Billy called me and was trying to put together a ski trip. And I remember him saying, Crafty, you gotta come see my kids snowboard. They're such stuff. He had aspirations for them to be professional. And I remember talking to him about that. He was so proud of them. And it just shined through when you spoke to him. We never did get to take that ski trip, but it really showed who he was. And finally, I want to read a quote, and it's a self-quote from Billy in his yearbook. And he says, always push yourself to overcome any obstacles that stand up in your way, and never give up. Those are his words. These are good words to live by. And I just want to finally say, Billy, we love you. We miss you. Rest assured, you'll never be forgotten. God bless you, buddy.
Ask if you would join your heart and mind in prayer right now. God of our hearts, God whose most perfect, most present, and most available name is love. Our prayer today is a simple one, that our classmates are all at peace and at rest. Whatever struggles they had are now concluded. The joys that were their lives they have shared already with us, and so really the work today is ours, for us the living. May we all carry the meaning of their lives with ours, inspired to be the people who are there, the people who are present, who maintain friendships and foster connections, and remember the ties that bind all of us. Amen. So to close, I'd like to mention something that Rob and I talked about in preparing for today. He and I reflected that for a number, not all, but more than half of these 6 classmates who have passed. They had struggles with mental health disorders and with addiction. And the truth is, being totally honest, I know these struggles in my own life. And I also know the essential blessing that is to reach out for help and the release and relief that comes with recovery. So Rob and I wondered if there might be some way that we could memorialize these lives who stayed with us in our hearts, and that we could work with other alums here at Hill, that we might invest in the health and the well-being of the students who are still here. They're not that different from us. They have their struggles, and sometimes, as we all might know, some of us very personally, it is real tough to not keep those struggles hidden. And so this is a conversation we're going to continue. I know some of you have shared this with me today and 5 years ago, that you tried hard to reach out to your classmates who were remembering. It takes 2 sets of hands to create a lifeline. One to anchor it and hold it secure, and the other to reach out and grab hold sometime as an ultimate act of faith. So let's do all that we can to strengthen the ties that bind us together and help us hold fast to one another when inevitably the storms of life will hit us all. This is a way that in concluding today we can carry forth the memories of these lives as we invest in the energies of the lives that are still here with us. And so may we all go in peace today, remembering our friends, remembering our classmates, and remembering each other who are all still here. May you live in blessing. And amen. If you please take us out of this.